Hello everyone, I Shelja Singh welcome you all to the second episode of Digitates. Marketing Lake, a digital first agency with a mission to help businesses succeed digitally using state of the art methodologies. And Digitates, as the name itself suggests, is all about conversation, creating experiences, sharing stories, and above all, learning from the experts. So today, as we bring to you the second episode of Digitales, we have with us Mr. Sannidhya Baweja, a digital marketing consultant with over 5 years of experience and a specialty in Facebook ads. He also has his own YouTube channel with over 8K subscribers. He's also very active on LinkedIn and also throws light on digital marketing through his Baweja wisdom. So Sannidhya, I welcome you to the second episode of Digitales.
Thanks, Shelja.
So how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing perfectly good.
Thank you so much for taking out time on a Sunday for us.
Welcome.
So Sannidhya, would you like to tell something about your career to our viewers? How did you decide to do freelancing and digital marketing, ads and everything? You name it and you've done it. So do you want to tell something about that?
So I started in my fourth year of college. I realized that electronics is not for me. I am an engineer. With also degree which I have, I don't consider that anymore. In fourth year, I decided that I wanted to do something which is not engineering. So not exactly electronics engineering, because there's very limited scope in India related to that. And then I thought of going into computer science, like doing stuff related to computer science, not exactly choosing that particular field, but that's what I thought of doing. But gradually I realized that that's also not for me. So I went to one of my college batchmate and he told me something about digital marketing. It seemed fascinating because of people like Rand Fishkin and Neil Patel, because they kind of produced content which was consumable and at the same time actionable. And that's when I realized that I wanted to do something in digital marketing. So I joined a company which was an agency, and post that I joined a brand which was Voila, and there I did marketing for 3 years. Then post that I realized that I wanted to go solo because I acquired a lot of knowledge, and there were a lot of things which I wanted to do and I was not able to do under that brand. And that's when I decided to go solo. And also, the picture is that they fired me, so I had to do something about myself. So I applied for a lot of jobs post Voila, but I didn't get into any. And out of no choice left, I started doing YouTube and freelancing simultaneously. And once you start doing it and you keep at it and you have a work ethic, eventually you develop skills which help you grow into the market. People recognize you. And that's when I started doing LinkedIn. People started seeing my posts and they started seeing what I'm posting about. And they started gradually asking me about my services. And as soon as they started asking me, I realized that I'm doing something which matters into the market. And and eventually I also monetize my YouTube channel. So that's also one of the streams of income. And I realized over this journey what Pat Flynn says, that you can't rely only on one stream of income. So my core objective was to diversify my income as much as I can. So it's in terms of YouTube, it's in terms of freelancing, it's in terms of consultation and a lot more things. So yeah, that's what I did.
That's wonderful. Like having a clear objective, like you knew that electronics is not something that you want to pursue, and then switching your career from engineer to marketing, that's a huge step. So Sannidhya, like people usually they don't really understand that how important it is today to create their personal brand or to create a niche in the market and to be really active on LinkedIn. Like as you have been active on LinkedIn since so many years now, and you always share your Baweja wisdom, as was mentioned. So what do you want to tell to those people how important it is today to create your personal branding on LinkedIn?
I'll give an analogy over here. For example, in olden times, it was said that if you have land, then it means a lot. It was real estate. So personal branding is the rawest form of digital estate which can be out there, and it's gonna stay over there. People have been, people have been familiar with land estate, real estate for a while, because it has been for, since the dawn of time. Everyone saw that, this thing is there. This is fairly new. And look at where we have come within the span of 10 years. In 2010, people started building, personal branding, started doing personal branding, and look at it right now. NFTs are coming into picture, and a lot of things are, and it's not going to stop. It's just the beginning, and it's not even 1% of what has happened and what's supposed to happen in future. Yeah, VR, AR, and all the things are coming up. And right now, if you're not building personal brand, then you are going to be the one. Now I'll give analogy again. People come up and say, at my time, one Bitcoin was of 5 rupees. You would be that person who in future would go ahead and say that in my time, personal branding was like this, but we couldn't tap on it, and now we are not doing anything. So if you're not building your personal brand, regardless of whatever you are doing in your career, you are leaving a lot of money on the table, a lot. And you right now you won't be able to recognize it, but compounding will play a part. 2 years down the line, you won't realize. 5 years down the line, probably you won't realize. But 10 years down the line, when that compounding, when you'll see the other people who have built their personal brand, that when that compounding plays the role, you would realize what you have missed.
Yes, I think it's absolutely right, because personal branding.
Also one more thing you said about the niche. Yeah, niche thing is very important, because I have seen a lot of people coming on LinkedIn, okay, and I got no problem with that, but they have to be very clear why they are doing it. I'm not able to understand why they do it, because they post motivational stuff, okay, and then they go away, okay, and they have a lot of followers. I'm not saying acquiring followers is a bad thing, but I hardly think they would be able to squeeze money out of those followers, because at the end of the day, why do we have followers? You will have to stick to one niche. Like I stick to digital marketing, and recently I have shifted totally towards Facebook marketing, because that's what I realized, that market is not market is underutilized over there, and not a lot of authorities are there in the Facebook marketing niche, and I have started going in that direction. But people are running behind followers in order to show that they have now they have to understand what's the meaning of just showcasing that you have a digital estate and what it actually means. If you have 5,000 followers and you are not able to earn $5,000 every month from those followers, then you have nothing. Like it's why are you even acquiring followers? You have to understand that. So yeah, that niche is very important. You have to be niche specific. People should realize that you are the master in that particular field, and you should be the go-to person. Like if let's say if you are an advocate, and you are in the network of a painter, okay, and that if someone comes up to that painter and asks him, hey, do you know any legal consultant, and if he is not mentioning you, I don't know why you are in his connection even. So yeah.
Correct. I think you've really put it very beautifully, because people often forget that firstly they have to create their personal brand, and secondly, when they do it, then they, the content that they give out is so diverse. They don't cater to one particular segment, or they don't target that well. So which is why their content sometimes tends to get, away from the entire exposure that is there. They don't get that much exposure. So a leading question with that, Sannidhya, there's one mistake that you might have noticed. Almost everyone does it on LinkedIn when they are posting content or whatever. And it's not just a person doing that, individual, but often sometimes companies do it, startups specifically who are starting out in digital marketing, or they're starting out their journey with LinkedIn. So what is that one mistake that you have noticed over the years that somebody has done, or they continuously do it, but it often goes unnoticed? They don't realize that they're making this mistake. It is not going to hamper them right now, but 5 years down the line, it is going to show. So what is that one mistake that you would like to tell all our viewers?
Not being self-aware, I'll say. Why most of the people, when they start, and even I have been a culprit to that mistake. When you start, you can't be an authority in that field. Like, right, you need to build certain set of skill set. For example, right now, if I'm saying anything that's coming from an experience, I won't come up and just baffle around anything and talk like a baboon about something which I don't know. People, when they start, they talk with a very authoritative tone. there are a few people who acknowledge that and become their follower. But if they have a very authentic tone and they just document what they're doing, they can say, I did this and I realized this. Please let me know in the comments if I'm doing right or not. There would be far more people who would love that authenticity, first of all, and want to help that person. Because at the end of the day, we are building a community to help each other. We are not building a community to showcase. I have also talked about this. At times when you're building a personal brand, it feels like you're being narcissistic and you're just talking about me. But at the end of the day, I don't want to say that I'm better than you. I'm just saying that these are the things which I did, okay, and this is the answer which I got through that. I might be wrong, that experiment might be flawed, there might be certain metrics which I didn't consider, but people generally come up and say, yeah, this is this and you have to do this in order to get this. Like 20-year-old life coach is just, I'm not able, like, how can you be a life coach at 20 years? You simply can't. Even if you are able to empathize it at a really big level, I don't think you would be able to come to that level. You might seem like that, but you won't be at the end of the day. And same goes to the brand as well. Brands, the problem with brands is that, this particular statement, Gary said that, which was basically, we have got no problem with Samsung screwing up with their smartphones. Okay, if their smartphone burst out wide open, it blasts, we have no problem with it. We have problem with them covering that up. Brands saying that we are perfect is the problem. But if brands accept that we are not perfect and just say that we tried and we failed, people will be far more accepting about it. But they saying that we are perfect and this is the best which you can get, that's the problem. And a lot of brands are doing it. I won't name it. Even when I'm saying this to you, you might have a lot of brands in your head which might be going around, and that's not my mistake, right? Because they are doing it. I'm just putting it out over there.
I completely agree. I think as the saying goes, nobody's perfect. So there is no one who's perfect. Everybody has to learn every single day. So Sannidhya, you started your journey as a freelancing, you're doing that. So what is your advice to freshers specifically who are starting out their journey, corporate journey, and they are in a dilemma whether they should go for freelancing and learn these skills on the path to freelancing, or should they start with a 9-to-5 corporate job and get some exposure, learn some techniques and skills, and then probably switch to freelancing? What is your advice to them?
I think I won't be able to say whether you should go for 9-to-5 or not, because it totally depends upon who you are at the end of the day. For me, it was a good thing that I went to 9-to-5. I can throw some light on this thing. While 9-to-5 made me do certain things which I'm able to do right now, is 9-to-5 made me realize that why deadlines are important, because I was on the other side of that whole spectrum. Right now I'm on the other side because I'm providing freelancing services to 9-to-5 people. So I know why deadlines are important. Even freelancers also know, but it comes the hard way. When they lose their client, then only they realize that why deadlines are important. Work ethic is important. 9-to-5 makes you realize, because in freelancing, no one is your boss, so you can start whenever you want. But that's not a good technique. You need to have a clear distinction between when you are working and when you are not working. Otherwise, you'll go insane, which has happened with me a lot of times. But 9-to-5 made me realize that if you keep a balance between those, then obviously there might be some decorum, and as well as you might not lose your sanity that frequently. You will, but not that frequently. Then 9-to-5 taught me things like, what is the hierarchy, who are the gatekeepers, and who are the decision makers. And these are very important things, because whenever you are talking to a gatekeeper, run as soon as you can, because he's not a decision maker. He is not going to go ahead and convince someone on your behalf. Always talk to decision makers. Never even spend single second talking. You'll come across a lot of people who would say that you should talk to gatekeepers. There might be some strategy, but I'm totally against it. You have to always talk to decision makers, because there's no point convincing someone then going ahead and picking up a low-hanging fruit who is already convinced. So that's the whole difference. Then if you're going directly into 9-to-5, if you're going directly into freelancing, there's one thing which is very important, which is you should know how to pitch. That's it. Skills, they'll automatically come. If the client comes up and says you're doing a bad job, you'll automatically learn. That's not the a hard part. Definitely client handling is somewhat hard, but if you don't know how to acquire a client, whom would you work upon? The most important and basic skill is acquiring clients. Spend as much resources as you can, or spend on as much resources as well as on books, on courses, on finding out what scripts work, okay, how to negotiate prices, how to convince a client, how to showcase your portfolio, how to showcase different things through which the client actually comes down the funnel. Run Facebook ads, run a lot of things, okay, but have this skill for just perfect this skill, how to pitch a client and how to convince him to hire you. If you're not this is the most important art according to me, and there are a lot of courses which are out there which you can purchase through Udemy, or books I will recommend, Win Without Pitching Manifesto by Blair Enns, then Never Split a Difference by Chris Voss. They are just amazing books. You have to read it if you're a freelancer, and you have to understand that you have to maintain that cash flow, and how that cash flow is going to come only with new clients. So you have to understand that.
Totally. I think every profession out there has its pros and cons. You can't really segregate them into which is better, which is not. But definitely, I think from your advice, people are going to realize that, what is the pros of being in a freelancing and what is the pros of being in a 9 to 5. Everything comes with its cons as well. Can you just tell us 3 tips which, every person out there should be aware of when they're doing branding on LinkedIn, when they are creating their personal accounts and they want to drive organic reach to their accounts?
So in order to do that thing, first of all, have a niche, which I already discussed about it. Okay, you need to have a niche. If you don't have a niche and people don't recognize you, or people recognize you only for motivational stuff, you are doing something terribly wrong. If you are getting more than 100 likes on your post on LinkedIn, and you are a person who is talking about Facebook ads, or let's say about legal contracts, okay, and you're getting 100 likes and you have, let's say, 30,000 followers, you need to seriously go back and audit yourself, because you can't get more than 50 likes on a post which is so niche specific and you have so less amount of followers. If you are getting it, that means you are either saying something which people already believe in, okay, or you are saying something that's totally generic, or you are targeting wrong set of people. It's highly impossible for someone to have 30,000 followers on LinkedIn and get 100 likes. If you are getting it, trust me, you're doing something wrong, something terribly wrong. You're doing it. But if everything is correct and you are getting 100 likes, okay, trust me, then your cash flow should look like you are loaded with money. Okay, you should stop spending on stop doing anything. You should be just like, okay, I'm done with this. Okay, and because 100 likes means that people are ready to buy your services. And if they are ready to buy your services, then you don't need to push more content. I guess you can come to three posts a week or something. Like, you can decrease it and start thinking about how to monetize those people, or you can bring them to your YouTube channel, or think about various passive income ways. Then second one is be consistent. Then now I said that you can post only 3 times a week. When I started, I used to post 3 times a day on LinkedIn. So from 10,000 to 30,000, I reached within a span of 2 months. From 0 to 10,000, I reached, I guess, in 6 months. And at that point of time, I was just posting 1 post a day. But from 10 to 30, it was only, I guess, 2 or 3 months. It was only because of the fact that I was posting 3 times a day, interacting regularly, and I was consistent. Right now, I'm stuck at 35,000 because I'm quite contented with whatever is going on, and I'm trying to build up other platforms, and that's where my energy is going. But you have to understand that consistency does play a role in everything, and compound effect does play a role. It's not just Warren Buffett's investing thing which is concerned with compounding. I think everywhere compounding plays the role. Okay, this is a second tip. And third one is try to stay original. Okay, there's nothing which is which is original, but there is definitely something which is your perception about things that will stay original, that will stay unique. Not, I won't say original, but yeah, it will stay unique, because the kind of experiences which you will have, and the kind of uncertainty which is there in the universe, and the entropy which is out there, I feel no one can steal your experience, first thing. So try to make sure that in your content, or while you're building your personal brand, that is reflected. Because that's how it reflects. For example, I watch Shwetab Gangwar a lot. I watch Gary Vaynerchuk a lot, and I watch Prakhar as well a lot. These are three set of people who influence me a lot. Earlier, John Oliver used to influence me. Then Trevor Noah used to influence me. But right now, other people influence me. Now, Jason Sylvia, interests me. I am an amalgamation of all these people because all their thoughts I consume, and that's what I am spitting out as well. No one else would be consuming all these set of people. So my perception of how I visualize things would be completely different from the way you might. Okay, so it's totally different. So one has to understand that they have to be original. And frankly speaking, you can copy once, you can copy twice. People are very smart. They know where you are copying from. You just have to go ahead and pick that post and first 3 words of that post and just type it on LinkedIn, and you will realize that there will be all the posts which are there. And a lot of times people have called everyone out. So I just think that people are running behind followers at the end of the day. They're like, we want followers, and that's that. They haven't figured out what's next. They think they will be able to figure out, but I don't think they will be. They will keep on thinking, what are we doing wrong? That's it. So yeah.
I think you've so beautifully explained it, Sannidhya, because I personally, in fact, I'll say about myself as well. I also kind of run behind followers, run behind how many likes I'm getting on this post. Why am I not getting likes? What is the issue? Like so much views are there, but not everybody likes your post as well. Your views are always exceeding the people who are liking your post eventually.
Right.
Yeah. So I think you're very.
I think you should be happy that you are getting fewer likes. You should be really happy. That means your audience is kind of very choosy and niche specific. So if you are getting only 7 likes, that means there's a very huge potential for you if you go ahead and, let's say, launch a course tomorrow. Okay, because those 7 set of people, they are following you religiously and they would purchase from you. So yeah, that's what makes sense.
Very well said, Sannidhya. Very well said. So with this, we come to an end of this episode of Digitales. I think I personally had a great time. I mean, I learned so much personally about LinkedIn, about how organic growth actually happens, and that we should not run behind followers. I keep this point in mind definitely. Thank you so much, Sannidhya, for being on Digitales with us. Any last words you'd like to say to our viewers? Anything before you sign off?
That's it. Have a good work ethic and have a good relationship with yourself. Don't try to push yourself this hard that you might go insane. Okay, everyone is pushing hustle and work culture so much nowadays, but you have to understand that you're not gonna. Life is short. Okay, there are other aspects of life as well. So do enjoy, because those aspects will only give you creativity and originality. Other things also matter. So yeah, I'll just put it out there.
Very well said, Sannidhya. Very well said. So thank you everyone for joining in and watching this episode. I am sure you all had a blast, and so did we. Thank you, Sannidhya, for coming on this.
Welcome.